Hey guys, Echo here, and today I wanted to talk about my thoughts on Destiny so far. So this isn't a review, this is just how I feel about the game and what I'm liking and disliking about it so far. So to put it really generally, I enjoy it. I enjoy the game a lot. It really appeals to me, but I think it was marketed to the wrong audience, since it was Activision, they hyped it up a lot and people took it for a multiplayer, like a COD replacement, which it definitely is not. People thought it was going to be action-packed, fast-paced gameplay and stuff, and that's kind of what it is in multiplayer, but it's really not. It's more of a Call of Duty, Halo, Borderlands mashup. And because of that marketing, I think that's why a lot of people are disappointed with the game. A lot of reviews I've looked at have been pretty negative, because they say it lacks depth and its story is weak and all that. And Destiny said from the not Destiny, Bungie said from the beginning that it was going to be like a 10-year game, like an MMO. They wanted it to last years and have expansions, and the story would grow and progress, and the game would get deeper as it went on. Which I don't think that's what people were expecting, and they gave it an unfair criticism, basing it on all the hype and the trailers and the excitement for it, which isn't really fair. Having said all that, I really enjoy the game, and here's why. Like, I really enjoy Borderlands. I really enjoy Call of Duty. Halo, not that much, but I can tolerate it as it's mixed in with those other types of games. Like, the biggest thing that appeals to me is the shoot and loot aspect, like Borderlands, like the always knowing that there's better gear out there and you can get more and more overpowered legendary gear, exotic gear, just always leveling up and getting better. And I think they're probably going to increase the level cap. I think the level 20 and the extra levels, the soft and hard cap, all that, I think it's going to be increased with expansions. And that will be good. I think that's necessary to keep people engaged and want to keep coming back and leveling up and getting better. And also there's something for everyone. Like, if you don't like the PvP and you don't like people with better guns like destroying you online, there's a lot of PvE stuff, a lot of raids and different bosses you can fight to get their drops. Well, drops in quotes. We'll get to that later. But if you don't like the online aspect or the the toxicity that comes with that, there's plenty for you in the base game with the missions and stuff. There's tons of replayability and different strike missions and stuff that you can do. So I really think that's cool that they made it pretty diverse on both ends for any type of player. Also, the game completely changes after you hit level 20. Like, I heard that while I was like level 15 or whatever, and I thought, I don't know really what that means. But I hit level 20, and then once you do, it unlocks so many more missions and all the legendary gear you can buy from the vendors. And it introduces the light element of leveling up, which, if you don't know what that is, it's once you reach level 20, all armor has another attribute called light. And different armor has different amounts associated with it. Like, you could have a +5 on one or a +10 on the other. And each level after 20 requires a certain amount of light. So once you get enough for that level, you will go to level 21, and then it increases all the way up. And you need to be higher level to fight the higher level bosses and do higher level raids and get better gear and continually build and build and build and get better and stronger and more overpowered. And to fight those higher level bosses, you definitely need more than one person. This is definitely a co-op game. Like, you can play solo and manage pretty well, but once you get to the special level 22, 24, 26 missions, you're going to need three players. And games are always more fun when you play with your friends anyway, but it's almost impossible to do it by yourself to get the better gear and to fully experience the game. So I have a couple criticisms. You could call them negative if you wanted to, but the first one, this is just a carryover from my Borderlands fandom, is that I wish when you actually killed the bosses they would drop loot, like the loot explosions in Borderlands, because it gives you a sense of accomplishment when you see a rare drop or a legendary drop. It's kind of, muted when you see it after in the lobby. It's kind of not as exciting. So I wish that the bosses would actually drop the loot, and I've seen discussions online about that, and that may be added in the future, which I would love to see, but it's not in there right now, and I wish it was. Another thing about this game is they do a terrible job at explaining things. Like, in the tower there's so many vendors, and I'm level 20 now, and I just now figured out what spin metal is for. And speaking of spin metal, there's all these different materials and different consumables, and they don't explain what they're for at all, or where to trade them in. I didn't even know you could trade them in. So I wish they did a better job of explaining that, and also explaining what the NPCs are for, because it's really confusing. There's 3 main ones for each class, of course, and then there's the postmaster, and the gunsmith, and the shipwright. Those are kind of self-explanatory. Then there's the guy that codes the engrams, or whatever they're called. And then there's 3 others. There's 3 separate factions from the 2 main factions that you have to wear a cloak and level up while you're wearing the cloak to get stuff from their factions that the other factions don't have. It's just really confusing. I still haven't completely figured it out, and I wish there was more of, like, not a tutorial, but like a more intuitive way to show you how to use all these different systems in the game. So overall, I enjoy the game, and I think it's pretty good. They did market it to the wrong audience, but I think you should at least give it a try. See if you, hey, plug Leap Trade, see if you can get it from Leap Trade cheaper, because a lot of people are returning it anyway, trading it in, they don't like it. But you should try it anyway to see if you enjoy it. I think it will have a small group of dedicated fans, like a cult following type game like Borderlands, that will keep it going, and it'll be in the background, but it probably won't be a mainstream game that you really hear about that much, or that many people will even play in a couple months. But it is what it is, and it's pretty good at what it does. So that's my thoughts on it. This is not a review. This is not a criticism. This is just what I think, and you're entitled to your own opinion. You don't have to agree with everything I just said, but I just wanted to let you know how I felt about the game. So that about wraps it up. Feel free to leave a comment telling me whether you like the game or don't like it. Also, feel free to leave a rating, and I'll put a link to Leap Trade in the description. I haven't checked if they have any copies, but they probably do, because a lot of people don't like it and they're trading it in. But that's pretty much it, and I will see you next time.